Alright, here we are, Morgan, South Australia. Awesome part of the world. Why do I feel like I've done this before? Alright, so here we are, Morgan, South Australia. Awesome part of the world. G'day guys and welcome to Iron Empire. This time we're back in Morgan, South Australia, where it all begun, to check out the XY and the XR. The XR and XY. So today I'm up here, I'm helping Uncle Mark with the doing some flashing on the side of the house, getting some iron up, and we thought we'd just finish off this last sheet and then make the most of this winter's day up here in the Riverland. I'm actually nearly ready to take my jumper off. It's actually beautiful up here. And we're gonna drag the little Suzuki Whoopie out. It's gonna be sick. I'm gonna go for a bit of a cruise around the paddocks. Check out the scrub. Haven't been down the bottom block for a long time. And then we're gonna go and have a look at some of the cars in the paddock. So first things first, I've got to fix this frayed throttle cable because it gets stuck. And we're going to try and do a bit of a bush mechanics on how to fix this because I'm not sure what we've got in the way of tools in the shed here. And obviously we won't have a cable. So first things first is fix some stuff so we can go look at some other stuff that we need to fix. All right, let's see how this goes. Alright, snip her on. She snipped beautiful. What happened to that bit? The bit that we need.
We're going to cut this.
Bit of copper.
Bit of copper tube. We're going to cut that tube, drill the centre, put the cable in, fill it with lead.
But yeah, this should be sweet. It's only going to take us about 3 hours to fix the cable, so we'll have maybe 1 hour of daylight left.
Yeah.
Oh, you freak. All right. Cable sorted. Only took about 20 minutes. You'd buy one if you weren't in the sticks. This radiator, you can see we've done a bit of a bush mechanics to make it all work. That radiator was in a Hillman, which is in the paddock. We pulled it out and Mark just reminded me that the radiator was actually holding water still. So we know it works. It's been in the car for probably a year or two now. So we're making shit from nothing. But we'll jump in this, we're going to do a dump run now, and then we're going to go for a bit of a cruise down the dam. We'll show you some of the cars laying around the paddock, and yeah, then soon we'll have a look around these Falcons. So we're just doing pretty much a hot lap of the block down here. This is the bottom block, which is pretty much floodwaters. It's floodwaters, isn't it? Yeah. And Kookaburra. There was so much wildlife down here. There's obviously a ruse. Over the time, there's been cattle and stuff used down here as well. But obviously heaps of wildlife and right on the river. So couldn't ask for a better spot. There's about, what are we, 1k of river frontage here?
1.5.
1.5 kilometres of river frontage. Meanwhile, these people over the road are fighting for 50 metres of it. It's awesome. Alright, now we're up at the dam. Well, I'm not sure it's ever held water. Not since I've seen, but these cars were down in this ditch since Mark's owned the property. We've got a little Hillman here. That's where the radiator come from. That's now in the little Suzuki. I think it might be another Hillman over there, or maybe an Austin, and an XB Falcon here. I know what you're all thinking, like, why would you do this to an XB? I don't care about the British stuff, but this is, it was caved, obviously. But there's always a silver lining, because although kids have probably jumped on it and smashed the windows, it's just stupidity, but there actually is a lot of good bits and pieces on this car. I mean, and obviously stuff that's not reproduction. There's bracket trees, steering columns, bits and pieces that are actually really handy to keep other cars going. And in fact, there is actually one of these doors is going to be going on my XB restoration. It's now down at Jake's shop, and you would have seen it in an earlier video. We've done some rust repairs on it. It was actually better than my door. So we're salvaging some bits and pieces. A lot of the stainless trim is actually in really good shape on this car. So yeah, stuff like this is still very handy. So don't scrap it. Please don't scrap these cars. We need them. There's also another little car over here which I do want to build one day. So if anyone has any leads on parts for these cars or has any information on them, I am really interested in hearing about it, because this is going to be really cool. The Mini Moke. Haven't even tried to start this thing, but I'm going to assume that it is completely trashed, because as you can see, the air cleaner's been left off. It's not that it rains much here in the Riverland, but it'll be knackered. But there's some XB parts I've salvaged earlier. Trims that are still good. Yeah, this little Moke is super cool. They're so straightforward that it's going to be so easy to fix. It's had a bit of a bingle here in the front side, and some questionable repairs done. But it's pretty much a trailer with a motor on it. So this is going to be super easy to fix up one day. So I might have to try and get some running gear out of a Mini to swap into that, and then we complete the tour of the land. There's more in the Mallee scrub up here, but that's the main gist of it. We complete the tour back at the XY. Hopefully we can have a bit of a dabble on both these cars. Hopefully you'll enjoy that quick tour of the block, which I've never showed you guys before. Yeah, let's get stuck into some car stuff, eh? Alright, so the work on the house is finally done, and we've got like an hour of daylight left, so not a great deal of time to work on the XR, but we're probably going to tinker away into the night, and then we'll have tomorrow morning yet. So finally, what you guys have been waiting for, we're going to get stuck into this XR Falcon. Alright, so first up we got the radiator. It's got to come out of this car because it gets hot real quick. So it's either the radiator or it is the water pump. The thermostat housing and thermostat was done when we first done the car, so that should be fine. So we're going to pull that off now. Mark's going to get stuck into that while I pull this carby down. Alright, out with the old, probably original radiator, crusty as anything, filled with river water, and now in with this slightly less crusty radiator.
Full of gum leaves.
Full of gum leaves, been outside, but this came in a Mustang that Mark and I done up. It was Mark's car, and the radiator had apparently been overhauled It's actually a factory radiator for a 289 Mustang, but from what we've been told that they just simply don't keep a V8 warm, cool. So, but it should be fine because this is only a 200 or 221. Do you know what this is?
I think it's 221.
221, yeah. So it should keep that cool. So either way, it's going to be a damn sight better than the other crusty thing. So we're going to drop this thing in now. I did forget that I do have some stuff to give this thing a full service. I've got plugs, air filter, an oil filter, and some HPR 30. So we'll be dumping that all in. Hopefully get that sorted tonight, and then tomorrow morning there'll be a lot less to do. What are you using here, Mark?
Well, the hoses wouldn't fit the necks on this radiator, so I've found a hose from a HJ Holden.
Yep.
And I've cut that, and I've got that to work, and I'll have to find something for the bottom.
One step at a time, but that's a good step. That's off a I wonder why there's a spare. That was the 350 and a HJ.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but it seems to work. The neck's slightly less angle, but that's going to work sweet. I'm nearly finished cleaning up this carby. It was pretty good. I think there might have just been maybe a bit of a leak. One of the gaskets, so just tighten everything up, bolt it back together, and then that can go on the car.
Forget all the times you held my hand, just let me know that you stay 5 minutes more. And I know that you really as soon as I fall asleep, and I pretend that you stay here all night long. And I spend the mornings every night
Alright, so I've got to swap this oil out now. That is the last thing that we're going to do tonight, and then that will be ready for the morning to get out, take it for a spin. Hopefully it doesn't get warm, hopefully it runs sweet. We're going to go check out the XY, and then I'm going to come up with a plan on what to do with that. Flat batteries, always. Mark! Get that. Right, we got the hoses all sorted out pretty much. Bottom hose on, clamp ready to go. Top factory hose with a stainless tube to pack it out, and that's going to slip inside the big one. That's only going to be temporary. Monster hose clamp should do it. Okay, batteries in, hose clamps done, radiator ready for a top up. We've got our Australian standards fuel system all plumbed up and ready to roll. So we just throw a bit of fuel in the carby, air cleaner on maybe, and then see how she runs. So we played around with the idle for like an hour trying to get it right, and then realised that we couldn't get the timing where it needed to be because the vacuum line was jammed up. So I got rid of the vacuum line, does nothing anyway, moved the timing, and now it's purring like a kitten. So, oh my god, such a simple thing, I didn't see it for so long. Alright, everything is finally handled except for the roof lining, obviously. No brakes, but I have a cooling system. We have a car that runs right, sort of. Should be way better. You should just fire right up and let me drive it down. Let's roll. Come on, pups. Alright, so finally got the XR down here and parked back where it all began, next to the XY, and it actually runs so much better. It's never ran this good before now that I've sorted out the timing and we've cleaned the carby out, given it all service and everything. So running really sweet. Obviously we've never driven it further than up and down this dirt road here. The brakes are totally shot, it's got nothing at all. Handbrake needs work. There's plenty of things that need work on this thing. It's not going to happen today. I'm not sure if it's ever going to happen, to be honest with you, because Uncle Mark has basically come to the realization that he's not going to get to this thing. He's got the Cougar, which he doesn't really drive. He's got the he's got an XY Falcon down at Narracourt that he's restoring, and he also has a Mustang. So there's too many cars in the mix, and I'm glad he's actually come to the realization that it's probably not necessity to keep. So that leaves me with what the hell now? I love the thing. Do I do something with it? I don't know. You know, it's a cool thing, but is it cool enough to warrant keeping it factory? Probably not. Everyone's going to yell out, put a landless or a Baron or something stupid like that. Not that that's a stupid idea, that would be awesome, but how many projects do I need? I don't know. The XY over here, let's have another look around this. We've addressed this XY before, but for some reason I just like it. I don't know. We paid $300 for the car and it's pretty toasted. Let's be honest, it's going to need a whole new floor pan. It's going to need new rails. It's going to need new rocker panels inside. Maybe this is the one that needs to be cut up. All the tray around the back here is knackered. Some parts are cool though. There are some bits and pieces that are actually okay in it. Like you could totally salvage the door trims and stuff. Would be cool to do it up sort of original with the blue interior. Maybe leave the outside ratty. do a custom floor on it and stuff, and you know, maybe like a high performance running gear or whatever. But this is actually a late XY, so it must be late 72 because it's got a XA ignition barrel from factory, and as you can see that because it hasn't got a hole in the dash there where XYs usually always have them. So it's a little bit rare for that respect, but apart from it, it's pretty toasted. Tailgate's maybe savable. That one doesn't have a tailgate at all, so if you know of any tailgates around the place, we are looking for a tailgate for the XR. They both need rust repairs. This one is a lot better, and I think that someone should fix the rust in this thing and match it in, leave the patina on top because it looks really, really cool. The roof's pretty toasted, but you could repair it, and the bonnet has been folded up and it's pretty smashed, but I think with the new using another inner, you'll be able to save the skin to try and keep it all original. Now I'm sure some people are looking at me just thinking I'm a dickhead because why would you bother keeping it original, but I don't know, I kind of like the original patina look. It's got character that you just don't get in a restored car, but I think you could do a semi-restoration. You could do a mechanical restoration on this thing and definitely put some hot running gear in it, and it could be a wicked streeter. Same thing with this. I think this probably needs a little bit more. Maybe this body needs to be dropped onto a different car. You know, it needs to be a full, you know, crazy project. Maybe it needs to be cut out and put on a new model Falcon or something stupid. I don't know. Just spitballing here, but let us know in the comments below what you think we should do. And if anyone has any interest in these things, if you've got interest in these things, everything's for sale for the right money. So, but if you actually do have any interest in any of these cars, you can email me, mark@theironempire.com.au. And yeah, but for now, this is going to stay here one last time. I'm not going to bother even doing anything with the XY. I was going to work on that a little bit, but realistically, I'm just sort of time wasting. I'm better off just getting a set of wheels that I've got at home, get them all cleaned up, painted, put a set of decent tires on it, come back next time, put it on a set of tires so at least it's rollable, and then maybe we can start looking at getting the thing fired up. Maybe we could do something similar to this, so at least we've got two running cars. It's going to be a lot better than having two wrecks. As you can see under the bonnet in here, it's actually it's relatively complete, so I don't think it'd probably be far off running. I've got to get a radiator for it, thermostat housing, starter motor. The starter motor's in there. I might just buy a new starter motor for it, plop that in, and then see how we go. As for the rest of it, there's not really a lot more to say. You know, it is what it is. Most of this stuff has already been covered in the first two videos on these cars, but I just wanted to revisit these things. I had to come up here to help Uncle Mark anyway, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to get a little bit done on these, and we did. We got a little bit of progress on that, so I'm happy that that's a lot better running, right, drivable car. If we can sort out the brakes now, yeah, there's no reason why we can't sort of start getting it towards something that can be put back on the road. So yeah, anyone that has any leads or interest in these things, please hit me up in the comments below. Of course, as usual, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the online store, and I will see you all on an upcoming episode of The Iron Empire. Cheers, guys.